Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Florida. And today we have a question from Skeptic Psychologist. And Skeptic Psychologist has this question, among many others, but this one I'm going to answer today. And that is, are there any emergency brakes that you can put on if something goes wrong during a witchcraft session? And the first thing that must be acknowledged about this question is that the phrase, something goes wrong, is a very broad term. And it's not necessarily a one-size-fits-all answer. And it can apply to a number of different situations. I'm going to assume that what is meant here is if the person finds a situation that causes them fear or that they believe could cause them harm. And yes, there are some emergency brakes that you can in fact apply in that situation. And if you have been well trained, you will know how to use these. And you will see from the answer, which is about to come, that there's a reason we put so much emphasis on handling energy in Correllian teachings. And this is one of them. If you find that you are feeling frightened by what you're doing, or that you feel that it's going in a way that could cause you harm, then you need to stop it, and you stop it by grounding out the energy. When the energy is grounded, nothing further will be able to manifest. And in addition to this, you can also do immediate shielding on yourself, on the room you're in, and you should already have that anyway, but you can reinforce it in the moment. And these would be the two things I would first recommend for putting emergency brakes on a situation like this. And I think that for the vast majority of situations, you will find it to be enough. If you don't, most of us work with spirit guides, ancestors, patron deities. Ask for help if you find that you cannot do this yourself. And if you find you cannot do it yourself, I would say that this is possibly because you believe you cannot do it yourself, but that doesn't matter. If you are in that situation and you feel you need help, you should certainly ask for it. And it's sometimes the case that people feel more confident in asking for help for something than they feel in doing it themselves. And if that's what works for you, then by all means do it. And sometimes also it may be necessary. So again, I would say for emergency brakes in a situation that is not going where you thought it would go and that you do not like where it is going, first ground the energy, then shield yourself, and then ask for help sequentially as needed. And these, I think, would serve any situation most people will encounter. Now, it's worth bearing in mind that there are a number of substances that can be used to help to ground energy, including a very obvious one, salt, certain stones, etc. And we talk about these in the lessons. And I'm not going to go through them all here, but I will acknowledge that they exist. In most circumstances, you will not necessarily need to be using external things like this, but they are there if you need them. Holy water, which has been consecrated, usually water and salt, can be very helpful for this. So these are a number of things you can do. But I think for most people, grounding the energy by itself would be enough in most situations. But if it's not, there are these other things. Now, again, the term something goes wrong can take in an awful lot of territory, and if there is another situation more specific, I could try to speak to it, but speaking in general, these are my recommendations. I hope you find them helpful, and until next time, may you blessed be. Please join me for our Correllian Peace Prayer. I pray for peace. I pray for love. I pray for stability. I pray for the nation where I live. I pray for the world.